In this video, we are going to be talking about speed to lead and why this can make or break your online lead spin and real estate lead generation. Now, jumping right in here, there's an article here that I want you to check out. This picture is from this article, and it's got a couple of stats on why speed to lead is important. First of all, in this study or in this article, it talks about a study that tells us that 48% of inquiries went completely unanswered in the real estate space. That is wild and that is mind blowing. But what that tells you is that one, almost 50% of inquiries that real estate agents are getting, that lead is now going somewhere else because they are not getting followed up with quick enough, right? And so you have got to make sure that you are not one of these agents that takes more than 30 minutes or takes any time at all to follow up, right? This says 48% of inquiries went completely unanswered, right? And so oftentimes a real estate agent can simply convert this lead just because they call someone back or because they actually answer the phone on the first go around. This is something I really want you to take seriously. One, if you are not answering the phones, we should probably stop this video and figure out in our systems how we can get better at actually answering online inquiries or inquiries to us. Now, the next stat that was really, really interesting is that leads morph into paying customers 21 times more frequently when reached within 5 minutes compared to a half-hour delay. 21 times more frequently. So, what that means is you could potentially increase your business by 21 times, which is crazy, just by simply reaching out within 5 minutes of an online lead inquiry compared to a half-hour delay. So what's really interesting here is one, we now know here that 48% of inquiries just completely go unanswered. And then the next stat here that you may not realize is that, oh, well, if I get to them at some point during the day, then that should be fine, right? At least I don't fall within the 48% of inquiries that go completely unanswered. At least I answer them, right? But maybe it's 30 minutes later or even an hour or in 2 hours or the next day. But what this tells us is speed to lead is so important that 21 times more frequently where they turn into paying customers when reached within 5 minutes. This response time also will showcase the service that you provide to the lead in the future. Clearly, the industry has a reputation that their inquiries or their phone calls or their text messages will go completely unanswered. So when we answer not only the first time they call, but also within 5 minutes of an inquiry, we are setting up a baseline of trust and loyalty that we are going to do what we say we're going to do, and we're going to do it in a timely manner. We are going to follow up with them. One of the top 3 reasons why customers fired their real estate agents is because they were not getting their phone calls and text messages returned. And so we have the opportunity to not be that agent and realize that there are so many agents that are doing that we are able to scoop up their market share that they leave unanswered because we are actually answering leads within 5 minutes. Now, what does this tell us? What does this tell us? If we are going to pay for leads, we've got to commit to this. Okay? It's one thing to leave your sphere of influence on red. It's one thing to wait 30 minutes or an hour for someone that you already know or that already knows, likes, and trusts you. That's one thing. But when we are paying for leads, these leads do not already like, know, and trust us. So we have to go above and beyond really quickly, and we've got to get to that lead quickly for a couple of reasons. One, so that we can get to them before they go to another real estate agent, right? If they are calling us or if they are entering in their contact information on our ad or on our lead generation source, what is stopping them from going to another lead generation source and entering in their contact information? So we have to get to them first. There was just a stat that I believe 71% of sellers only reach one agent before working with them or only contacted one agent. And that same stat for buyers was 80% of buyers only contacted one agent. So we've got to make sure if someone reaches out to us or someone submits an inquiry that we've got to get to it quickly so that we can beat them actually submitting their contact information somewhere else. And we've also got to do it so that we can build that trust that we are going to continually follow up with them because we reach out to them so quickly. We want to impress them and we want to show them that we are not like those other real estate agents. We are real estate agents that follow up very quickly, and we provide them with a lot of value when we do get on the phone. So you've got to then come to the realization not everyone should pay for leads. If you are paying for leads, this is the grind. This is how you're going to make paid leads profitable. There are other people that are paying for leads that are following up within 5 minutes. They are going to beat you if you are not following up with leads in less than 5 minutes. Okay, they will beat you. That means that paid leads are not for everyone, right? If you are not willing at 7 p.m. on a Friday night to pick up the phone for an online lead that comes in, then paid leads are not for you. I've got here leads never come in when you're available. That is just the name of the game. If you are a busy real estate agent or you plan to be a busy real estate agent, leads are going to come in while you are on showings. Leads are going to come in while you're at the dinner table. Leads are going to come in when you least want them to come in. And if you want to make paid leads profitable and you actually want to make money and scale with paid leads, you have got to have a system in place to, one, notify you when a new lead comes in, and so that it lights up your phone so much so that you're able to answer the phone really quickly. And you've got to be available in order to call within 5 minutes, right? Or respond within 5 minutes. And so we cannot afford to spend money for it to go to waste. If this is not you, if you say, nope, I'm not willing on a 7 p.m. on a Friday night while I'm out of the country to respond to an online lead, you either need to delegate that, right? You need to pay for a service that can do that, which is possible, or this is not for you. Okay. Because while I say we can delegate it, that means more money. So if we're paying money for leads and then we're paying money for a delegation service or some sort of service to follow up with that lead when it comes in very quickly, and we're still not converting them, this is not for you, right? Now, this can be built into a system. And what I mean by that is depending on the quality of your CRM, when a new lead enters in their contact information, there is a syndication that can take place where a new lead enters your CRM and at least gets a text and an email from you immediately within seconds. So that is step one. And then there is obviously a notification within your CRM to let you know when there's a new lead so that you can jump in there and contact them as soon as possible. Now, there are other services. There's a service called Call Drip, for example, that you can set up that when a lead enters in their contact information, let's say they are searching on your website, they click on a listing they like, they scroll through the photos, and your system, your website, prompts them to enter in their contact information before they can go on, right? That is a new lead. They enter in their contact information. It goes into your CRM. And then what you can do is you can have a service like Call Drip actually call you within seconds. You pick up the phone, and then it will in turn call that lead to at least attempt to contact them. You can leave a voicemail, but we have done our job to call them within 5 minutes. This has been a game changer because we've been able to have this on our phones. We've been able to change the ringtone so that we know it is a lead that we need to get to urgently, so that if we miss that call, we know we need to call it back immediately, or we know that we need to step away to actually answer that phone call. So many of us are scared that when we leave the dinner table or when we are on our vacation, we're so frustrated because we want to unplug, and we don't realize that really that conversation can be as little as 3 to 7 minutes before we can actually dig in enough to book the consultation to meet them the next day, the next week, etc., or we can actually go over the full consultation. What's more important is you actually getting to this within 5 minutes, right? So there is a system that you can put in place where your phone actually rings, where you can answer it, and then that will then in turn call that lead that entered in their contact information. That system is called Call Drip. There are probably other systems as well, but that is just the system that we use. Now, I just mentioned how important this is. It's obviously more important now than ever to have the proper systems in place to deliver on value and response rate. Because yes, it's about response rate, but what I mentioned in that next 3 to 7 minutes is making sure that we deliver on the value so that we can dig in to see exactly what the problems are, tell them how we can solve those problems when we meet in this consultation, and then book the appointment. This is very important because, again, these leads, not only do we have to contact them very quickly, but we have to show value very quickly because these are just strangers. These are not people that like know and trust us. Oftentimes, these are people that also haven't seen our branding. So there is no built-in loyalty or trust here. And we've got to gain that loyalty and we've got to gain that trust very, very quickly. Hopefully within 5 minutes of them entering into our database, right? Now, I mentioned this already, but this is important for me to highlight to you. These leads, if we don't contact with them within 5 minutes and we don't provide enough value early on, they are not loyal leads, right? Paid online leads are not loyal leads. You have to build that loyalty with them. If we do not get to the lead, someone else will. While 48% of inquiries went completely unanswered, that's 52% of inquiries that did go answered, right? There are other agents out there that are getting to leads within 5 minutes, honestly, within a minute or two. And you've got to be that agent. If you wait more than 5 minutes, or better yet, you do not have the systems in place for you to contact that lead within 5 minutes, someone else will. And so what that should tell you is this is a major problem if you do not have these systems set up. You need to stop this video and go set up these systems, or stop spending money on online leads because you aren't converting them and someone else is. You are losing money. You aren't just losing money to leads that aren't going to buy or sell. These leads are buying and they are selling. They're just doing it with someone else that could get in contact with them within 5 minutes. So I hope that this video was helpful in uncovering the importance of making sure that you have a system in place to call your new leads within 5 minutes. If you want more tips and tricks on how to scale your real estate business, check out my other videos. If you have interest in jumping on a call with me so that I can show you how I can actually customize and implement a speed to lead system in your business so that you aren't missing out on these paid lead opportunities, there is a link in the description below. It links directly to my calendar. I can jump on a call and go over exactly how I can do that for you. I hope to see you soon.